Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about calculating simple probability. Before we do that, we need to define a few vocabulary words. The first one is event. An event is something that might happen. In the case of probability, it's what we want to happen. An outcome is what actually happens. We are going to be talking about all of the potential outcomes, which are all of the things that could happen. And theoretical probability is a measure of how likely it is that an event occurs. When we talk about theoretical probability, we're talking about the same thing as probability. So I will be using those interchangeably. We also are going to be looking at likelihood today. So there are 5 ways that we can define the likelihood of an event occurring. And if an event has a 0% chance of happening, then we call that impossible. If it has a 100% chance of happening, that's certain. It is equally likely if it's 50-50, so like flipping a coin. Unlikely if it's less than 50%, and it is likely if it's more than 50%. All right, let's look at our first example. So there are 5 marbles in a bag, 2 pink and 3 yellow. What is the theoretical probability of pulling out a pink marble? So there are 2 pink and our 3 yellow marbles. To find the probability of pink, and you'll see there I've written just a capital P with the pink in parentheses. That means the capital P stands for probability, and that's probability of pink is equal to, and it's going to be the number of pink marbles over the total possible outcomes. Well, we have 2 pink, and there are 5 marbles total. So the probability of pink is going to be 2 over 5. I can also write that as a decimal. So 0.4. To get it as a decimal, just do 2 divided by 5, or I could write it as a percent, so 40%. All 3 of those are the exact same answer. They are the same number. They would all describe the exact same probability for pink. Now, we also want to know what the likelihood of this event is. Well, since it's 40% and that's less than 50, when I'm looking at my scale here, that's going to make it unlikely because it's less than 50%, but it's not impossible. It's not 0. A second example, we want to know what is the probability that a flipped coin lands on tails. So first thing is we need to think about what are the possible outcomes. Whenever you flip a coin, there are 2 outcomes, right? It could be heads or it could be tails. We want it to be tails. So I'm going to look and see how many tails do I see in the outcomes, and that's just the 1 out of all the total, which is 2 outcomes. So that's going to be 1 over 2 or 0.5 or 50%. So that is on our scale of likelihood, that is going to be equally likely since it's at exactly 50%. And that is it for simple probability. It's pretty simple. See you next time.